Plunderbird represent.
What is happening,
Nice.
What is happening, Robot Wars fans? Hardcore Kid here, having just survived a plunder storm to get back to my humble abode and record this episode for you. I've gone through slow snow, fast rain, and -5-degree weather. But at last, I've made it, and today I've come to review the grand final of the Bugglebots show just for you guys. And yes, as you heard before, that was the Plunderbird theme. And speaking of Plunderbird boys, they are now hosting a Kickstarter for a robot combat documentary that they're working on. The link to the Kickstarter will be down below if you want to donate, and also get some really cool Plunderbird merch. But until then, we'll focus on Bugglebots tonight, and joining me, also surviving a plunder storm, we have... What's wrong, Nate?
Does this mean the podcast is over?
Oh, far from it, homie. We still got a couple more episodes to cover after this, because apparently we have 2 more episodes, and we also have Extreme Warriors. But yeah, the show must go on.
What are we gonna do?
I hope that's.
What
not
are we gonna
copyrighted.
do when we run out of robot combat shows to review?
I don't
Should
know.
we just review movies or something?
I don't know. Review porn.
No. Oh. You know, I mentioned that I got to speak with Vince Russo a few weeks ago, and when I brought up that I was an anime fan, the first thing he brought up was hentai.
Well, of course, it's Vince Russo. He loves to swerve you.
Oh, what can you do?
But joining us tonight, we have 2 guests. First off, I'm a big fan of his robot Snappy, and he competed in tonight's grand final, and he won the Rumble and ended up placing 4th overall. It is Craig Croucher.
Hello.
Boy, Craig Croucher.
It's your boy,
You alright?
Craig Croucher. How's it going, Craig?
Yeah, not bad, not bad. Tired. It feels like it's been forever since that final.
Yeah.
But it was such a good time.
It was only 4 months ago.
4 months. And also joining us, you know what? Bugglebots wouldn't be a thing if it weren't for her and Bob and all the other shunt posters, but we of course have the Shuntposting Queen with us. It is Sarah Malyan.
Greetings, greetings, greetings.
How's everything, Sarah?
How art thou?
It ought good. It's been a wacky week, but we watched the Bugglebots grand final, and oh my god, it was the greatest episode we've ever seen in our lives. But
Oh, it was something. It was really something.
yeah,
Spectacular.
it was a lot of fun. Lots of Beetleweights flying around, lots of good
I
hits.
enjoyed it more than the BattleBots season 3 grand final. I'll say that much.
Yeah, well, it had more matches, that's for sure.
Ooh.
And the fights were a lot more exciting.
Believe it or not, this is also the longest episode. Like usually the episodes only go about 40 minutes, but since this episode had more matches, it went 1 hour and 4 minutes, 1 hour and 7 minutes. So if this ever airs on the Science Channel, they'll probably be taking out 20 minutes to make way for ads and commercials.
Don't go there. Don't go there.
They'll
And
just cut my interviews because they'll be like, we can't understand her.
how dare they?
If they do that, then can you please get us to do the commentary? We're better than the guy you got to do the U.S. dub of Robot Wars. Yeesh.
Yes.
That we got. I'm sorry. I believe you guys are guilty of that one.
Ah.
Yeah, when I said we, as in,
We did not consent to that commentary.
yeah, we didn't either.
Nobody wanted that.
Don't worry.
No, it was a travesty. You know that meme of that little girl's face, the can you not face? That's the face I did when I heard it. I lasted 5 minutes at best,
Yeah.
and then was like, nope.
Nope.
Once they got to the fights and I realized what they were doing, I instantly shut it off.
But by comparison, Bugglebots commentary was tip top.
Oh, this is A++ commentary by Steven and Alice Dare. Bring them back.
Yeah, big mad props to the, as I call them, the Mad North Irishmen and the Raging Scotsmen.
But Pete Smith is the angry Scotsman. There can only be one angry raging Scotsman. Yeah, but this episode was a lot of fun, and of course we must talk about the first match, which was the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-way Rumble, and it consisted of Drizzle.
Oh God, they don't five-way.
It consisted of Drizzle, Snappy, Maximum, Ogre Drive, Claws 2, and Saw Loser.
And what a way to start off the final. This was a fantastic little Rumble.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun watching this. I did miss like the first 10 seconds because I was having internet trouble all last week.
Oh, that's when Drizzle worked.
Yeah.
Well, hey, Drizzle did work for most of the fight until that thing happened.
It got a good few hits. It got a couple of good hits in on Snappy, but Snappy was like, "Yeah, all right, I'll take that." See you later.
The hits of it, flinging Snappy like 3 times. Those I think are good enough for the John Reed Good Hit of the Night award.
I think, and Snappy just went, "Meh, all right," and carried on.
Yeah,
he doesn't care. He's all right with it.
He's a happy boy.
See, I said this in an interview that it was all a facade from Craig. You know, when he said to me, "Look at his face," and then he goes into combat with Drizzle, and he's just like, "You what, mate?" And so it's just you're not fooling anyone anymore, Craig.
Well, I had to go straight for the big boys, didn't I? You know.
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
Yes, you did.
And my pick,
it was
like
when
Bobby Heenan does a
and
run
you know what driving's like.
Yeah,
man.
My pick to win this match was Maximum Ogre Drive, and
mine too.
Yeah, and Nate's yours.
Yeah,
was
me
Snappy.
too. Actually, when I was watching it, it was mine.
Yeah, I have one thing to say about the winner of this match. Who called it?
You did.
I did.
Yeah, but yeah,
Really?
Well, you know, everybody loves a good wedge, and yeah, Maximum Ogre Drive. I thought
wedge lifter, Brandon.
Wedge lifter. I must remember it's a flipper. Yeah, but Maximum Ogre Drive actually was winning, and then Claws 2 just came out of nowhere and pulled a bigger brother on it, or just ruined everything. How dare they?
Felicity's driving.
Felicity has quite a history of putting Sam in the pit, and she was just sticking true to form.
Oh, how dare you, Felicity?
She's a damn good driver, and you know, as Sam said in his interview, it was a driving error on his account, and Felicity took advantage of it, and you know that's what it's about. So,
Craig, you drove Snappy in this match. Describe your experience.
I did. It was terrifying. I mean, watching all the Heat finals happen, and like every time, you know, whoever came out second, I was like, oh, I do not want to face that person. All of those 4 robots were robots I do not want to go against.
Wow.
But, yeah.
So you were the underdog in this bout.
I mean, I feel like I'm the mental underdog in my own mind in every fight. But yeah, it was a tough matchup. I fought a few of them before. Well, I fought Claws, I think, and Maximum Ogre Drive before. But Drizzle and Saw Loser were completely unknowns to me, so I had no idea how it was going to go. It's really exciting.
Yeah, Maximum.
And then we saw what happened to Zero Gravitas, and it was a bit yikes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Saw Loser. I thought would do all right. Alex at this point.
I thought Alex Mordew had this one, and then Maximum Ogre Drive got a hold of it and saw it through the top, and that was it.
That was the cleanest slices I've ever seen. It just like it went right down and it cut through the plastic. And
one of those strangely satisfying things.
Apparently, it cut through titanium as well. I think.
Yeah. Straight through.
Holy mackerel!
Ogre Drive is legitimately terrifying at this point.
Yeah, but unfortunately, Claws 2 came in and just pushed him in the pit, and but Snappy was stuck going around in circles, but then one little hit from Drizzle and came back full force. What happened there, Craig?
Well, basically, I've got those light strips on the side that are blinding everyone whenever I go upside down. basically what happened was on that first hit, it dislodged one of the light strips, and it kept getting wrapped around my wheels. So that side just kept kept not working. So it was kind of a battle against that, trying not to burn out the motors, but equally show controlled movement. And yeah, it turned out all right, I think, in the end. I like those last few moments of that match were a complete do or die. Like I knew if it went to the judges, Fliss would have had that. So yeah, had to do what I had to do.
I find it slightly ironic that a spinner caused a lifter entanglement.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it was weird.
There are so many cable ties on that light strip now. So many cable ties.
It's one of the staple diets of roboteers: cable ties and gaffer tape.
Oh yeah.
Well, gotta give a
Good stuff.
Gotta give a thank you to Tommy. That one hit managed to dislodge it. Poor Tommy. He was doing well, and then all of a sudden the wheel fell off. Oops. Yeah.
But he brought it back in full force for the Euros, didn't he? He put like a disc on it, and now it's a beast.
Oh yeah, brutal at the Euros. I fought it not in the main competition, but in the side competitions where we had a ladies' rumble, and Tom's girlfriend Sarah drove it. So I've been in the arena with it, but not with Tom driving. And it's legit terrifying now. It's like oof. I think pretty much everybody went into battle with Drizzle like eek.
It's gonna. People were probably expecting it was gonna do the thing.
You never know. As long as the weapon keeps spinning. As long as you keep the weapon spinning, it can keep going. But yeah, and this was a fun match. Snappy eventually managed to push Claws 2 into the pit, and saw loser got counted out. Ogre Drive was pitted. Drizzle took a nap. So overall, a really fun rumble, and it lived up to the hype.
If you could, Craig, could you please take us through the final seconds of that battle? Because that was one hell of an ending.
Yeah, like I was saying, it was really tough. I didn't think I would have it if it went to the judges, and I saw there was only like 10 seconds left on the clock. So luckily, I was in a sort of decent placement to try and give Claws a push, and sort of managed to pull it off. And I felt really bad for them because they were on top that entire match. So yeah, it was blind luck.
Yeah, but hey, you managed to get it, and now you're in the grand final, and you go up against 5 other machines, and we'll talk about go through the matches here. Oh, the first
Snappy pushes Claws 2 in the pit. The troublesome truck wins.
Woo! Insert chipmunk laugh here. But yeah, so the grand.
Your boy did okay.
Your boy did okay. So we'll talk about. We'll go through the matches. We'll start off with K2 versus Captain Doom with the Doom Kid Tyler.
This was a
fight.
I would say that this would be my 3rd favorite match of the night.
Yeah, it really could have gone either way.
It's one of my favorite fights of the whole series.
Yeah, it was a really, it was a match where neither bot was letting the other get an advantage on it. K2 got stuck for a bit, but it was getting some good hits in on Captain Doom. It knocked loose one of the wheel hubs. Captain Doom, of course, being the zippy little D2 kid, wasn't giving up, constantly zipping around the arena.
Unfortunately, K2. The problem with K2 is that it doesn't have a reversible speed controller. So when it gets flipped upside down, you're basically just banging into things trying to flip yourself back over. And it tried to rebound off of Captain Doom's wedge spiky things, and it ended up knocking itself out of the arena. Who'd have thunk it? This was
deleted itself.
Delete! This was like the only OOTA of like the show, and it was on the eventual champion. Think of that.
Well, I'm watching back the fight. Yeah, Captain Doom. like rams right into K2, and K2's spinner bounces off. It looks like the top of Captain Doom, and it hits it with enough force that it just knocks itself back into that little pocket.
That's how it works. Yeah.
Do you think that's the good hit of the night? Because I'm having second thoughts about giving it to Drizzle.
I don't know. There were a lot of good hits. I can't really pick one, but yeah. This was an SOOTA, but the S is for self out of the arena, I think, to me, because basically it was just K2's blade just banging against the top of Captain Doom and knocking itself out. Yeah, it's a shame, but well,
Captain Doom took some big damage though.
Yeah, well, like Captain Doom, it's a really tough robot to face, because even if you take out one of the wheels, you still have like the 3 other wheels you have to deal with, because it's
well,
four motors.
We'll get to that.
Yes, we will. But yeah, this was a really fun match. Two tough bots, and we finally got an OOTA. So yeehaw! And America moves on to the semifinals, and K2 goes through to the 3-way losers melee. And so we move on to the second match, which was the big hockey puck versus the hockey stick. SCD versus Limpet. I'm sure you love it.
Limpet handled this puck like it was Connor McDavid.
Yeah. I was thinking Alex Ovechkin. I don't know.
Oh, well, I say Connor McDavid because we share
I don't know who any of these people are.
Yeah, I was going to say, meanwhile, this flies over all the Brits' heads.
I don't know. Hockey
we guys have hockey. I mean, nobody watches it.
We
but...
barely have hockey. It's like a game we begrudgingly played in high school, and then once we stopped, we were like, thank God for that.
Hey, still better than football.
Oh, come on. How dare you?
Don't
Don't talk shit about football. I've played all kinds of football. Soccer, American football.
Don't you call it soccer?
Yeah, we're talking. Yeah, I was mentioning soccer.
Yeah.
Oh, see, I don't watch
why do they call it football if you don't use your foot? Like
why do so many people like it? It's rubbish.
Oh, it's definitely been rubbish this season. I'll tell you that. But thankfully you're in
#refball.
#refball. Nobody knows how to kick a field goal
It's
anymore.
probably a good thing Bob's not here actually, because Bob's a soccer, football, whatever fan, and he'd be telling me off at this point.
Oh dear.
He'd be telling us off too.
Oh no! If we have him on the show next, we'll probably have a fight. Yeah, but yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm so sorry, Bob, for my sins.
Yeah, not really much to this fight. It's just Limpet stick handling SCD.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun to watch though. Limpet had the little hockey stick extender, so he could just push SCD all around, and eventually put him right into the hit for the goal, the winning goal. So
yeah, tipped it into the net, won it in OT.
Yeah, this was funny. What'd you guys, Craig? What'd you think of this match?
I thought it was really cool because SCD is probably one of my favorite robots that was in the tournament.
Yeah.
Just for, we don't get a lot of melties in Beatles, and it's just so fun to watch. And it was making a really interesting tune at the end of it, much to the other Craig's dismay.
Was that an ESC, or is it just something going wrong inside there?
Yeah, I think there was something going with one of the ESCs. It was producing some sort of error tune almost. It was really strange.
There's some guys I know who have programmed their receivers or their radios to actually make to do a song when they start up.
I mean, if it's
like I think
Tim has a handweight that does that speaker.
Nice. Yeah, I think some of the guys from MIT do that as well. I think Squishy or somebody, but yeah, Limpet versus SCD, and I keep wanting to say SCU. How damn it, Nate? What have you done?
SCU.
I thought this fight went on for longer than a lot of people might have thought it would. Because Limpet's very well driven, and its tactic is with that kind of arena is get it in the pit. And I think actually it makes a very good case for the fact that we had a 30-second pit activation rule.
Yes.
Because fights with Limpet would have been a lot shorter.
Yeah, it's a tough wedge. It's built perfectly for taking on spinners like SCD. SCO. But yeah, that pretty much covers this hockey match. Limpet goes on to the semifinals. And now we get Snappy versus Rev 2. Craig, you want to talk us through this match?
Yeah, sure. I thought this was going to go a lot worse than it did. Because I'd seen Rev 2's previous fights, and it looked really scary. I mean...
Comeback was amazing.
Yeah, I mean, having beaten Mini Spinny, I was vaguely confident in my abilities against an undercutter, but I genuinely thought he could run upside down. I didn't notice that Felix hadn't sorted the invertibility, so kind of knocked it upside down. I thought he was still going, pushed it a little bit, and then was like, oh, okay, I guess that's that.
Now you were you were by the arena wall. Were you thinking of maybe trying to get him out of the arena?
Nah, no way.
Yeah.
The servo on the Bugglebots revision of Snappy was just not powerful enough to do pretty much anything, let alone get him out of the arena. But next time.
Next time, Gadget. But yeah, this was it was short. It's a shame Rev 2.
Short but sweet.
Yeah, it's a shame Rev 2 didn't get the invertibility issue fixed. But yeah, so all the spinners lose.
Felix is awesome.
Yeah, he's very passionate about the sport. You look at him and he's thinking you can see something going right. The wheels are spinning in his head. I am determined to win this match.
Aside of that, he's one of the best guys in the community. He's done so many awesome things for people. So big shout out to Felix.
Yeah. Felix.
He's a good guy. Very good guy.
So I'm looking at the fight again because I have it on. It looks as if like Rev 2 had two little pins in the top of it, where if it landed the right way, it would land on the back of its wheels and it could still move. But because it's so front heavy with the disc, it landed on its front and got beached.
It essentially did the thing.
Yeah, that happens with my Beetle all the time. The wedge is too heavy to run upside down.
There's room to fix. That's what these robots are for. You fight, and then you see what goes wrong, and then you go back and you start again. Yeah.
Pretty sure Rev 3 fixed it.
Ooh, Rev 3. Okay. Yep. So. Ooh. Oh, can't wait to see.
Is that coming to Bot Brawl, Craig?
I think it went to the Euros, didn't it?
Oh. See, I had my 6-year-old at the Euros, so a lot of the Euros is a blur.
I saw it. It looks very invertible. So
is it coming to UE?
I'm not sure. We'll see.
Ooh, I hope so. It'd be good to see it.
Yeah. So
I have a rematch with Cosmin for that. I'm scared, slightly.
Oh dear. I hope to see that. So yeah, all this.
I have a habit of breaking Cosmin's spinners, so he wants revenge, and he's apparently made modifications to X301, specifically with the goal of deleting puns and roses.
Oh no!
So I've got to work on my invertibility, actually, definitely for that, because otherwise I'm going to lose that so easily. It'll be annoying. But we'll see. I've still got a badass wedge. Nothing's got through it yet, so we'll see.
So we'll see what happens. So yeah, all three spinners lost and ended up in the losers melee. So we get K2 versus SCD versus Rev 2 in a spinner. Do it, Nate. Say it, Nate. Do it. Say spinner versus spinner versus spinner.
Spinner. What?
Versus spinner.
Versus spinner. Versus spinner.
All right. I think. Don't worry. I don't think you have to do that again until.
Out your system now, boys.
Yes, I am happy. So yeah, this was like I know people like this match is essentially what people want in a spinner versus spinner match. Not just like one hit quick KOs, just three bots just chewing into each other, ripping pieces off, just knocking the hell out of each other. And, yeah.
Did K2, like, I know that the captain said his pulley broke, but did they deliberately shut down their weapon, or did it legitimately stop?
He deliberately shut it down. For which fight?
I don't know if he did in that fight.
Yeah, not in that fight. But one of his previous fights, he did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's the right thing to do, but because in this case, I think what happened was the pulley jammed up, like the plastic from the side rails maybe jammed up into it. Yeah, and that's why it wouldn't work in this match. But
there's a really good tactic by K2's driver where it pushes Rev 2 right into SCD.
Mm.
Oh yeah. He's like, you first.
Yeah.
And then K2 hits SCD when it's right by the pit and scores it top shelf where Mama hides the cookies, as Rick Janneret says.
Yeah, it's a shame. I thought maybe SCD could get away from the pit, but no.
Yeah. It has very limited lateral movement.
It's hard.
Translation really got it.
It's hard enough when you're trying to steer a round machine when you have very little idea which way is the front way. But when you have a melty brain bot where essentially you're just like kind of jiggle, I have no idea how it works. But yeah, it's unfortunate. But hey, I am happy that SCD got as far as it did. It's a really cool bot. Love the melty brain design. Gotta thank not Rory from here, but Rory Mangles for basically popularizing it with nuts, and SCD did well. Rev 2, it's unfortunate, but yeah, but K2, like
shame for Rev 2 because Rev 2 made such a comeback in its heat. You know, it literally lost to Maximum Overdrive, and then it made such a comeback to win that heat. And I must admit, I underestimated it before it made its comeback.
Yeah, once it sorted out all of its technical issues, they were unstoppable.
Mm.
Yeah, so I guess it was a shame to see it get knocked out so early in the grand final. But you know, I guess sometimes that's just how it goes. But yeah, it was a shame because it made such a comeback, and you were rooting for it, weren't you?
Mm. I was rooting for K2 kinda because I love my drum spinners, and yeah, K2 managed to get the win. SCD in the pit. Rev 2 was knocked out, I believe. I forget. It was knocked out, I think. And then I think they got pushed into the pit.
I think it was counted out.
It was counted out, yeah. Movement! But, yeah. And K2 moves on to join the other three bots in the semifinals. And, what was the first match? The first match was Captain Doom versus Limpet in a wedge versus wedge match.
I can tell you, for this fight, the arena was packed. I don't think there was a single roboteer or member of crew who wasn't in the room for this fight. I think, well, to be honest, it was pretty much like that from this fight onwards. But I think with everybody knowing Tyler's reputation in the US and everybody over here knowing John Denny Jr.'s driving reputation here, everybody wanted to see that match. And to be honest, it was agreed that if they didn't meet in the
charge, you can feel
we would do a special grudge match with those two because everyone wanted to see them fight at some point, even if we had to do a whiteboard special or something afterwards. Everybody wanted to see this fight, and the room was packed, and it was bloody spectacular. Even after Tyler lost the wheel, that he was still fighting for it, and it was so good. Anyone who says wedges that well driven still don't make good battles after that can spin on it.
Like, see, as I said, I'm a big fan of pushing matches with robots flying all over the arena, and this is no exception.
I'm kind of on the other side. Like, I'm not a huge fan of wedge versus wedge matches. Like, sometimes when they have a match at an event, I don't record it because I don't know. Some people might not be huge fans of wedge matches, but this was one of the best wedge versus wedge matches I've ever seen. Just like you said, Nate, right at that first hit. Like,
me too.
And like that first collision, and then all of a sudden Limpet is upside down. And I'm like, what the heck just happened there? And then the next thing, you know, Captain Doom's wheel flies off, and I'm like, it's just going crazy. And again, it's like these D2 kits, you can't just kill them just by ripping off one wheel. You just got to take off like as many wheels as you can. But
all the wheels.
All the wheels. But it just, like, the two were just going back and forth. Captain Doom was pushing Limpet all around. Limpet was upside down, so it couldn't actually use the wedge. It looked like it might be another win for Captain Doom, but then full read comes into play.
Yeah, I got one of its forks stuck on the pit.
Yeah, and then, because the wheel was gone, it just couldn't get away, and then Limpet just seized the opportunity and pushed him in. And that was the end of Captain Doom.
I think nobody in that room knew who they wanted to win.
No.
I think because without taking anything away from Mark whatsoever, I think it would be fair to say that a lot of people thought that whichever one of those came out of that match was likely to take first place. If we had a seeding system, it was probably whichever one of those won that fight was going to be the number one seed. And that's not to take anything away from Mark at all, because his victory was spectacular and so well deserved. But it's purely based on the reputation of these two drivers. They are formidable drivers. I probably would say John Denny Jr. dominates the UK in the way that Tyler dominates driving in the US. It just and nobody knew who they wanted to win either, because I think after that fight it was like, you've got to fight whichever one of those wins next. You know? it's like whichever one of them wins, I've got to fight next. Oh crap.
Yeah,
it's fair to say that before a single match had even happened of the entire tournament, so many Roboteers, like myself included, thought that match was going to be the grand final. We thought that Limpet and Captain Doom were going to meet in the very last match of the entire tournament. So it was really mental that it happened in the semi-finals.
Luck of the draw.
Yeah.
It would have been.
It was because the draws were done randomly.
Yeah, it would have been. I wouldn't have minded if it was the grand final match either. It was a lot of fun, but yeah.
The fight itself was certainly worthy of a grand final match.
Yes.
For sure.
Yeah.
I'd say it's my second favorite match of this episode. The first match is the grand final, but yeah, this was definitely my second favorite match.
I think the grand final is going to be everybody's favorite match.
Yeah, but yeah, Captain Doom had to be beaten eventually, and it was in fact beaten by a hole in the floor. And Alistair did comment that most U.S. arenas don't have pits. Some do. Like the Penbots Arena has 2 pits.
It's not common.
No, it's and also the Ohio event has a pit, but yeah.
You guys definitely don't love a pit the way we do.
No, we sometimes we love a giant brick that just moves around at 2 miles an hour. But
I must admit, we do love your Brett the Brick, though.
Brett the Brick.
We would happily have a Brett the Brick.
Well, there you go. But
BBB love Brett the Brick.
Yes.
Yeah. Just keep them away from spanners and also giant hex nut thingies. But yeah. So Captain Doom was my pick to win the whole thing, and I am slightly biased because I am an American.
American.
After years of watching the Americans getting butt fumbled over and over again on Robot Wars, I'm still salty about the Ming 3 Rick Revolutionist Spin Doctor match, which was held by House Robot Interference. But hey, Captain Doom got as far as it did, and I'm happy for him. Tyler, he's a really good kid. He's going to be going to Motorama, and he's got a brand new machine, a much heavier bot. So
hey,
yeah.
I might.
He's got sportsman.
I might be able to go with you to Motorama, as long as it doesn't begin on a Friday.
It begins on a Friday. Sorry, Nate.
Damn it. Yeah, because I'm not. I miss work for conventions, not robot combat events.
Well, you better start missing work for robot combat events, homie.
When I get a robot.
Start building.
Yeah, that helps.
You want to be on Bugglebots, don't you?
Hey, I'll be. Hey, if Sarah, if you have Brandon over on Bugglebots, I'd be happy to show up as his second.
I'll try to save up for it.
You'll have to get him to list you as a teammate then.
Yes,
Yeah.
I can do that. Yeah, but
Can I just say, Jamieson, if you're listening, and I'm sorry to all the UK Roboteers who might hate me for this, but if we have a season 2, Jamieson, if you might consider bringing Silent Spring. I'm sorry, Craig.
No, I'd love to fight.
Come on, JMO. You know you want it.
He'll murder
I
everybody.
think there's people who would both simultaneously love and hate to fight it. They would love to fight it because, oh my god, it's Silent Spring. But at the same time, oh my god, it's Silent Spring.
Well, we've gone off on enough of a tangent. It was a good fight between Limpet and Captain Doom. Easily the best Wedge versus Wedge match I've ever seen. Though the 5-way Wedge fight from Bot Blast is a close second.
Yeah,
it's if you want to know just how much fun Wedge versus Wedge matches can be, like, how about you have 5 wedges in one match that are, I think all of them were invertible. That was so much fun.
It's a 5-wedge battle royal.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so Limpet.
You mean it's a battle royale with Wedge?
Yes, exactly. So Limpet gets the win, and now we have K2 versus Snappy. Craig, you want to talk us through this match?
It's annoying, isn't it?
Well.
Pushes in on him.
Yeah, I was doing all right. It's the fact that before Bugglebots actually filmed, I took delivery of a new servo that would have self-righted it. I just didn't have time to wire it in.
Bummer.
Yeah. So yeah, I reckon it could have maybe, if things went the right way, it could have done differently. But yeah, like Mark's such a smart driver. Like the moment he got me over, just turning off the weapon, and that was game, really. Like, you've got me at that point.
Bless him. Nah, it happens. He's like, remember, we talked a few heats ago, I forget, what was the drum spinner in Heat B? I think it was Bourbon. Yeah, he fought Snappy, and
Bourbon.
Yeah.
The biscuit.
It's the booze. Yeah, he flipped. He probably could have beaten Snappy if he left you upside down, but I guess Mark was watching that match and realized, yeah, if I leave this guy upside down, he's not going to be effective. And yeah, it's unfortunate that happens. But yeah, well.
Noticed that a lot of my losses came from being upside down this series.
Don't worry, just
recurring theme.
Well, you figured out.
He's gonna fix that.
He's gonna fix it. You're gonna.
It's already fixed.
Ooh! I look forward to seeing it. You must share footage of the awesome Shremek.
It's up on the Snappy Robots page. Go and check it out.
Ooh, I'll share a link.
Subtle plug.
There's another plug for you. We got lots of plugs tonight. I'm happy. Yeah, but K2 ended up getting the win, and Snappy goes through to the 3rd and 4th place playoff, and unfortunately, you got Tyler, Craig. And Tyler was... Tyler does not take losses kindly. If he loses, he gets angry and unleashes his frustration on another opponent.
It was not an unfortunately to be against Tyler. I was so excited. So after the Rev match, he came up to me and he said, like, "Oh, I didn't think your robot was going to be very good because it's got this big smiley face, but it's actually all right." And that was that was my favorite moment of the entire weekend, because I feel like he doesn't give that kind of compliment out, lightly. So
Tyler's truth bombs are amazing.
He is one of the best promos in the entire show, only seconded by Charlie from the Berg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, I was so excited to face Captain Doom, and it went exactly as I expected, but couldn't have asked for a better match, really.
Yeah,
and I'm so glad he went home with a medal. So glad.
Did 4th place get something?
Nah, but that's all right.
Come on, Sarah, you got to give Craig something. Give him a beer.
Our love section.
Yeah.
We provided all the Roboteers with free food.
All right. Food and drink. Yeah, but
there was food and drink. We're nice.
Yeah, but Captain Doom ended up getting the win via pitting, and he gets a cool little trophy. And I'm trying to think, Robot Wars had third or fourth place playoffs. Did the third placers get anything on Robot Wars? I don't think so. They just
I think it was only first.
I can't remember.
They just I think for Series 7 they got money, but I think that's it. Yeah, but hey, it's cool. I'm happy for Tyler. He traveled all the way to England, and now he gets to bring his little Bugglebots trophy back home, and now he's going to continue his reign of world domination with his bigger machine, and we'll see how that works. And yep, but Craig, Snappy, like I said, it's a really cool design, and I hope to see it in season 2.
Thank you. Yes, I hope so too. I've got everything to rebuild it. He's going to have a nice new shell, some more lights, all the good stuff. All of the good stuff.
And a new troublesome truck face, as Nate said.
Always.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah. So
I'm going to do some light up eyes.
Nice.
Hopefully. Spoilers.
I'm sure it'll be less of a hassle than having the LEDs get clogged up in the wheels. So,
probably.
Well, it's a good thing my character wears sunglasses, because if you have any lighter, brighter lights for your robot, I'm sure to have them handy, so I don't get blinded.
They said that T-shirt was green. They said it was green.
I thought it was green. It was neon green.
The website said green.
Well,
Fabulous.
Yeah. I've got my sunglasses on right now. But yeah, so
I had to borrow his.
Don't worry. I'll bring mine just in case. So yeah, so Captain Doom gets third, Snappy gets fourth, and we move on to the grand final.
Oh, this was a match.
This match ruled.
Oh my
What
god!
a match.
Everything a grand final fight should be: close, competitive, and feeling like there were some genuine stakes and tension. Although there was one thing about this fight that I could not ignore. All those skid marks on the arena floor.
That's
I think they were mostly K2.
That's the second biggest
sore
skid mark
loser.
I've ever seen, Nate.
Don't want to know about the first one, Ken. I mean, Brandon.
Yeah, basically
I think a lot of the ones by the out of the arena zone were sore loser. I mean, also one of the things the camera maybe didn't pick up was the noise of sore loser on the arena floor, which I think, judging by some of the YouTube live comments, a couple of people did pick up, but it wasn't overly obvious. But honestly, in there, I was sat quite near the front, because obviously I was watching all of the fights, to be consistent in my interviews, and that noise, honestly, it's so loud. It's terrifying.
It's the death hum.
It wasn't a death hum, it was like a death screech. It was like, wow.
So this match, essentially, this was like a tale of two matches. Limpet dominated the first half once it got K2 upside down and was just slamming it around, getting under it. K2 just flying over it, not really being able to do anything. But then K2 managed to get itself back over and then flipped Limpet back over, so Limpet is upside down, and now Limpet is on the run.
This was I would not want to be a judge in this fight.
This was
mostly because I'm afraid that everybody would hate me for the decision that I made. But
I definitely would have picked K2.
I would have picked K2
as well. I wouldn't have wanted to be the judge, but I would have picked K2 on damage.
Yeah, they damaged the lance on the side of Limpet.
Lance, and also I noticed it looked like Limpet was starting to have drive issues at some point. Like one of the motors was dropping.
K2 smashed in one of the motors.
Yeah, so
I think that was it. May not have been obvious on the externals, but I think like K2 smashing one of the drive motors, I think that was the deciding factor.
Yeah, John was he was quite upfront with the judges, because they wanted to know about damage, and he was talking to me while the judges were making their decision, and It's just that he goes, oh no, I think Mark's got it. I think Mark's got it. He's really buggered us up. He's really buggered us up. I've got no wheel here, and the motor's gone, and the lance is knackered, and
the wedge looked pretty tattered too.
I wouldn't have wanted to be the judge, admittedly, but I think in my heart I would have gone for K2 as well. But he made K2 work for it, though. He made him work for it.
Mm-hmm. What'd you think of this match?
It was
Craig?
a new Limpet. It was a new Limpet for this event, wasn't it?
I think
it was because it was all brushless, and John Senior, I think, was having a lot of fun trying to keep it running half the time.
Yeah,
it was pretty smashed in at the end of that. But watching that in the audience was nail biting, and
everyone was just dead quiet, weren't they?
Oof.
Yeah, while the judges were making their decision, everyone was just whispering to each other, like, who do you think's got it? Who do you think's
and that
got
was the other thing. They wrote it down as well. All the judges' decisions previously, Bob went over to them and Kane just whispered it in Bob's ear, basically. But for the final, Bob went up to him and Kane sort of looked around and went, actually, no, I'm going to write it down. And wrote it. And so all the people behind are like sort of straining to look over, but trying to not look really obvious about it to see what Kane's writing down. And then he gave it to Bob, and Bob looked at it before we picked up filming again. And it was just the tension. Oh my goodness.
Ooh, the roars when that decision went out was so genuine. It was so genuine.
I applaud too. I'm like alone in this house, and I just clapped. Like, yay! Oop.
Yeah, my mom and I were happy.
Absolute winning streak recently. It's just been winning everything, and it's why it was one of the favourites to win the competition. I mean, it's the Beetle belt. It was the last Bot Brawl champion as well. They dominate in antweights as well, and you know they're a formidable team. And so for Mark to beat Limpet. Anybody who knew Limpet's reputation in that room was so happy for Mark and just so proud of him.
Yeah, and K2 ended up getting the win, the decision, and the coveted Bugglebots trophy. Bugglebots, Bugglebutts. What is it?
Bubblebots.
Scuttlebutt.
Bagel Boss, Bubblebutts. He got the trophy. That's what he is. He's the new champion. The new champion is K2.
Woo!
Well deserved.
Yes, absolutely. I really liked K2 in its heat. I thought it was really impressive, and I'm thinking, I can see this thing winning the series. And hey, it had a little speed bump with Captain Doom. Literally, it went over a speed bump. But it was overall it was a great final match and a well-deserved victory. And great job from everybody. And I gotta say, going in, I'm a big fan of beetle weights. I've been competing in beetles since the beginning, and I was really looking for. I remember a time when there weren't beetle weights in the UK, and I'm thinking, I'd really love to see what the UK can do with the beetle weight class. And then I heard about, Sarah, you mentioned that you were going to be starting this Bugglebots show, and Nate and I were interested, and we decided we're going to take a look. We're going to do some reviews of this show, and overall, I'm very happy with how it turned out.
I am too. My parents loved it. Well, my mom loved it. My dad was indifferent.
Well, it's Dad's. Like, my dad, he's upstairs sleeping with his huge T-shirt on. His huge shirt on. So, yeah. But, I gotta say, with what you guys have done, you, Sarah, Bob, everybody, just...
Ben, Joe, everyone.
Everybody. It's just been so much fun watching the show. It's been fun reviewing it. It's been great talking to all you guys. And so, the big question is, when Bugglebots 2?
We're working on it, as you've seen. You know, this season has just been more successful than we ever imagined it would be. You know, this whole thing started as just this idea between me and Ben, and then Joe got on board, and then it went from just this silly idea to, oh my god, this is a thing, and oh my god, now this is a real thing, and yeah, we're doing this, and yeah, we're really doing this, and then just the community support we got from it was just amazing. You know, everybody gave up something to be there, whether it was their money, paying for hotels and travel and stuff like that, or lending us their time and equipment, or building robots for it. Just literally everyone in the production is invaluable. We couldn't have done it without any of them. You know, not just us three guys who put it together. You know, we couldn't have put it together if people didn't want to be in it. And there were people who did want to be in it and believed in us. It was, you know, it was exhausting, but I have absolutely no regrets over it at all.
Yeah, like I know how stressed
it was
you
good
guys
exhaustion. It was good exhaustion. And just, I've been really bowled over by the community support for it, actually. And from the most random of places as well. Like, for example, Robert Masick from the Bite Force team just randomly added to an EO's group. And it was just the most amazing gold mine of information for somebody like me who was, you know, new to organizing events, and just scrolling through the group and seeing, like, you know, previous questions that people had asked and help they've been given and stuff like that. It was just, it was such a useful resource. And I got a chunk of the paperwork done, actually, because of that group. Like, I was hunting around desperately for a consent form because we had children on the show, and obviously we need consent forms for that.
Yeah.
But oh god, what do I need to cover in it? And I posted on this group and said, has anybody by any chance got access to a consent form that I could potentially use for Bugglebots? And within 10 minutes, a guy linked me to a document and said, here you are. This one will suit your needs. Just obviously change it to suit Bugglebots. And I couldn't have done without stuff like that. I've just been tearing my hair out, stressing about that kind of thing. And likewise, also, I know that sometimes maybe the spotlight gets on me a bit more because I hosted it, but the fantastic effort Joe and Ben put in. Joe sorted our venue. He's done so much of the editing and production stuff. I dread to think how much sleep the guy has lost doing this thing. And Ben, with, like, he did all the legalities and creating the website and designing tournament management software, and I wouldn't have had a clue where to start with any of that stuff. And
let us also not forget
the hours that went into that is just mad. And so I really, really want to big them up for how much work they put in, and all the production crew, all the Roboteers, everyone. I love you all. You were all amazing.
You were saying something, Nate?
We also have to commend. All right, we also have to commend Steve and Suv for their commentary.
Yes,
of course.
Yeah, that's them for flying down to Bristol.
And recording in a closet with an air mattress over the door.
Well, I'm sure that they had great nights.
Suv, if you're listening, I hope you saved your outtakes, because I would love to hear them.
They may not be child friendly though.
Well, just bleep out the cuss words and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Bugglebots X-rated. The outtakes of Alistair Sutherland. Oh,
Bubblers. Instead of Brazzers, it's Bugglers or something.
Oh dear.
Buggle bloopers.
Oh dear. So on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm giving it a 10. I must.
Me too. I have to give it a 10. Woo! Like, for a Beetleweight final, and for this, the first of its kind, I should say, for a YouTube show, it delivered on everything it needed to be. The fights were exciting. There were good stories. The final was fantastic. Oh god, I want a Bugglebot season 2 now.
Well,
we're working on it. Get the word out. Share all our stuff. Talk to people who might be interested about it. Help donate or sponsor us if you're that way inclined. Just help us out. You know, we want to put another show on, but we need help to do it. You know, so help us out. It's a community effort. Let's be a community and do it.
And if it does happen, if you're not au fait with the UK Beetle kind of community, have faith that there's going to be a whole different caliber of robots next time. It's going to be
people have seen it now, and they're going to want to compete. I mean, you know, I know there's certain people who have grown tired of the excuse, but there's nothing you can do about that many dropouts so close to filming. We took ample precautions. We took ample precautions to make sure that we had functioning robots. You know, we had quite a few newbies, and so, you know, like we did a proof of functionality video, for example, and it was just that stuff was needed because we needed 30 bots to fight on the day. And you know, it happened. There was an event 2 weeks before, and a ton of people dropped out because of that. Not only that, I had to find another judge with 2 weeks to go because unfortunately one of the guys who was in our original judge lineup couldn't make it, and I was frantically searching for a third judge, as well as Joe and Ben trying to find replacement robots as well. I don't think I slept for about 3 days.
Wow.
Trying to sort this out. Tim Rackers was helping me out, asking around people he knew. I was asking Kane himself. I was like, Kane, emergency. We've lost a judge. What do I do? Do you know anyone else who could do it? And the usual suspects, such as Jason Marston or Pete Lale, were unfortunately all busy. And yeah, it was crazy. And then last minute, Ian said he could help. And it was just like, oh my God, Ian, you are my absolute hero right now. I can't even tell you how much you are my hero right now.
Mr. Botright, making everything's in the robot world go right.
I know he was, and you know, and all the Roboteers who got pulled in last minute, you know, it's not an easy thing to just, you know, rock up to people and say, oh, hi, can you build a functioning Beetle, and, you know, pay for travel and hotel and all the rest of it to come to our show with less than 2 weeks notice. It's generally not received well, but somehow we pulled it off. We managed to get enough bots in, and yeah, okay, it did compromise a little bit on some of the fight quality, but to be fair, we were a volunteer operation, and I think if people thought that Bugglebots as a pilot event run entirely by volunteers was going to produce the cream of the crop of the Beetle community, they were going into it with far too high expectations, quite frankly.
Where's Tombstone?
You know,
where's Minotaur?
You know, I know, right? So, you know, and to be honest, I think it had a nice feel to it. It was for me, it brought some of the magic of old Robot Wars back in a way, because it had some, even the bots that didn't work, they were still in a way kind of comical, and old Robot Wars really had that feel to it sometimes. You know, you had, like, take bots like Wizard, for example. You know, it was comically crap, but it still made an impression on you. I can still remember it, even though it did abysmally.
Look at everything from Team Death.
But yeah,
or the
I think
bots.
You know, those bots also have a place on the show, and I think also, in a sense, Drizzle not working actually has its place on the show as well, because, I mean, you take a kid who's a fan of BattleBots, for example, and then goes to watch Bugglebots, and, like, say for example Tom Brewster's like his hero from Monsoon, you know, and he sees Monsoon guy making a mistake, and you know what, that's cool, because that, you know, if the Tom Brewster can make a mistake, well, heck, I can make a mistake too, and this makes it more humanizing and more real and accessible. And if, you know, so I think actually in a way those screw ups kind of have their place, because it makes people go, well, actually if those big guys can make mistakes, so can I, and that's okay. So let's keep trying, and it inspires people to still keep going. So yeah, you know what, haters can hate, aren't they? Whatever.
Yeah.
A massive shout out to all the production crew.
Yep.
All of you guys that put all this work in. It like, from the Roboteers, we all really appreciated it, and super excited for what's to come, hopefully. See you next series,
See you
hopefully.
next series.
Yeah.
Speaking of support, you want to tell us about the new Bugglebots store?
Yes, we have a store. So if you want Bugglebots merchandise, because of course you do, go and buy some. And there's shipping abroad, so don't be put off if you're across the Atlantic.
I just bought
or
some
in
stuff.
Europe,
I got a new shirt and a new tote bag. So.
Lovely.
Yep.
I expect pictures when they arrive.
I will.
Those posters
Awesome.
look badass.
Yeah, I like that thing.
My stuff hasn't arrived yet. Gus got me a mug and the drawstring bag, but they haven't arrived yet.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks cool. If you want some Bugglebot swag, I'll also have a link down in the description. If you want.
Yes, because it goes towards producing series 2. So do it.
Hashtag give us series 2. Yeah, so.
Please.
Hey, Sarah, I would like to give a big thank you, and also to Bob and everyone else, the entire crew, all the Roboteers for putting the show together. It's been a lot of fun watching, and it's just been a blast.
Mm-hmm.
You're welcome.
Yep, and hopefully we'll see. We'll get season 2 and see what happens. Maybe we'll enter into it. Well, I have to. I'm going to have to put something together for it. But yeah.
Come on over.
I will. It's expensive, you know. I gotta.
I know.
You know what it's like trying.
You should come and watch it anyway.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even if you don't compete, you should come and watch it because the tickets are free. So you've only got to pay for travel and hotel, which is crazy expensive for you guys. But I'm sorry.
Only.
Do it anyway.
Well, I got money, but yeah, we'll see what happens. I got time, but yeah. So, anything else to say, Nate?
We want season 2.
Yes. I think that's all.
Are you sure?
Yes, it would be brilliant. But yeah, I think that pretty much covers everything. But this is not the end of season 1. Apparently, there are 2 new episodes after. Because there is a
spoilers.
There is a Rumble coming up. They just listed a Rumble with all the first round dropouts.
Yeah. So this one is the Dung Beetle melee, which, as you say, is the 2 bots from each heat that were eliminated from the first round, and they're competing for the grand prize of the wooden spoon.
Yay! Awesome.
So it's for pride more than anything. So the winner of this goes, you know what? I won something.
Yeah. And also there's a whiteboard match episode.
There are some whiteboard matches to come, but that's all I can tell you at the moment.
We want to see other Nate competing.
You will. Just can't tell you when or where or why.
Okay. We'll keep the spoilers on the downside. But yeah, it was great having you guys on the show.
Thank you for having us.
Hey, it was great. Big fan of your bot. Big fan of the show. And we'll see what happens. 2019 has just begun. Who knows what might happen?
Your boy will be back.
Our boy. Yeah. But yeah. And so hopefully when we get around to it, we'll continue Extreme Warriors. We gotta get a hold of Owain. He's the Tentagester, and he's going to be reviewing the Conquering Clown episode. So I'm sure he'll enjoy that. But yeah. Until next time, I am the Hardcore Kid.
I'm Otaku Nate.
I'm the Shuntposting Queen.
And I'm Craig.
Craig Danby?
Hey, Craig.
Craig Danby, is that you?
Wrong one.
That's not Craig Danby, it's Craig Janney.
Oh. Until next time, peace out and cease.